to another episode of the Corner of Craft podcast. This is a knitting and crochet podcast in which I talk about things that I've knitted and occasionally crocheted, but more often knitted. I won't lie. Many thanks to Skillshare for once again sponsoring this video. More about them in a little bit. Yeah, I don't actually have that much knitting content to share with you today. I know. If it's your first time watching, hello, sorry to be disappointing. Like I said, my name is Hannah. I am the owner of the Corner of Craft and I dye yarn in colours inspired by Dungeons and Dragons under the, ooh, I'm getting fluff in my tea, under the umbrella chromatic yarns, and I make hand beaded stitch markers, which are super cute. So, yes. If you'd like to follow me on social media, please feel free. Links, as always, can be found in the description box below, along with any other information that I think you might need. We're in a different place today. Might be too echoey, might not stick with it. But I filmed here for my Q&A that I posted on Monday. And yeah, liked the background, liked the setup. We get good light because the conservatory is here. And yeah. I just feel like the lighting is better than in the craft room office space with the windows behind me. Trying something new. If it's a disaster, it's a disaster, and that is fine. But I need to do all this before Mario comes home. So he's got the day off today. Well, kind of. He's had to go feed the mother yeast. I talk about that in Vlogmas. He's a baker. That sounds really weird. And he keeps telling me it's not yeast, it's leaven. The sourdough starter. I call it the mother yeast. Nobody else does. That's why he's the baker and I'm not the baker. Oh, we've gone off on one already. I hope you have a cup of tea. Although, like I said, I don't have that much to talk about. So maybe this won't be a super long podcast and you won't have to suffer through it for too long. We shall see. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, definitely not the first person to have made that pun, let's have a, let's quickly talk about Skillshare. If you're a creative person who loves to learn new things or improve upon skills that you already have, Skillshare is the place for you. It has thousands of courses in a variety of different topics to help you learn. That is it. That is its goal. There are thousands of classes available, from sewing and knitting and things all the way over to photography and video editing, even basic business owning things. So hopefully there will be a class there that interests you. And there's always more. There's always new classes. You're never going to run out. There are classes available at a variety of levels, and you can even filter them by difficulty. So if you want to learn something completely new, or you want to improve on a skill you already have, you can find a class for you. If you want to get into sock knitting, like I know some of you do want to, thanks to the lockdown sockdown cowl that I'm hosting, we'll chat later, there are sock knitting classes and the like. There's even classes that walk you through knitting projects, so you have someone to hold your hand along the way, which I think is very useful. You can ask questions to the tutor and get responses. There are projects that you can submit and you can get feedback on the projects that you have, and you can have discussions with other course mates, and it's just a good time all around, really. It is a whole community. It really is a learning community. I mentioned this class in my last podcast, but I'm still taking it. It's a long class, and that is a class of the Introduction to SEO by Rand Fishkin. He knows his stuff. He knows a lot about SEO, and it's a lot to learn and a lot to take in. So I am still taking that class and I'm very much enjoying it and find it very helpful. Like I said earlier, there are always new classes available, and there are even some live workshops, which I think is just a whole new different thing. It's just pretty fun. So for only $10 a month, which works out to around £7.50 if you go for the annual subscription anyway, I think that's a right bargain. Skillshare have been so kind and generous to offer the first 1,000 of you a free trial to Skillshare's premium membership. So click the link in the description box below or in the top pinned comment if that is something that you want to claim. Thank you so much once again to Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to the podcast. Because I know you all care, the tea I'm drinking today, I know it's not in my mushroom mug, I need to wash it up, is in this beautiful mug. BIRD&BLEND Monkey Chops. It's one of my faves. although it might be replaced in my list of favourites by strawberry Nutella pancakes, which was their pancake day tea and was absolutely delicious. Unfortunately, you can't get it anymore. I only got a 50-gram bag. I'm really annoyed I didn't buy more. I know. These are the earrings that I'm wearing today by Tiny Sunshine Shop. Super cute. Got them. La la. And the jumper I'm wearing today, because I know some of you will ask, I have no idea of the pattern. This jumper is pretty old. My grandma knitted it for my mum, and now I have it. My grandma passed away when I was 7 or 8, maybe 8. So it's a very old jumper, and yeah, I have no idea what pattern it is, but it's out of just a very comfy, probably acrylic yarn, and it's going bobbly because it's a little bit old, and it's just one of those nice comfortable jumpers. I've had it a really long time, but I didn't used to wear it because obviously wearing knitted jumpers wasn't cool when I was a youth, and I was desperate trying to, you know, fit in with the in crowd. I never did, and very often didn't look cool. Story of my life, truth be told. But when I went back to my mum and dad's at some point in the past year, when we were allowed to, when we thought that everything was easing, it wasn't. I thought we were on the way out. We were not. Oh, past me, how naive I was. Anyway, I found this jumper in the cupboard and thought, that's a nice jumper, I will start to wear it. It's a little short in the body, but like wearable. It's not sort of a crop top. It's not one that I would wear over a dress, but it's just a very comfy, nice jumper. So it's got like a double neck and raglan sleeves, and it's just straight body. But I can't tell you what it is, what pattern it is, or anything, because it's at least 13, 14 years old. Wait, how old am I? 30. 12. Oh, way more, 22. Oh God, that was eye-opening. 23, 24 years old. Ooh, that was a painful realization of how old I am. In my head, I'm still in my early 20s. Anyone else? No? Anyway, so shall we actually get on to some knitting? I guess I have been talking about knitting. Because I mentioned the lockdown sockdown cal in the ad read, I may as well talk about it. Fun fact, exclusive information time. I have actually ordered some enamel pins. I'm very excited about it. I ordered them before I had my little Catwatch logo made, so I don't have Catwatch pins coming right now because you have to buy enamel pins in bulk and it can be very expensive, and I had already ordered these. So I haven't got them yet, so I can't show you them, but I have a lockdown sockdown enamel pin coming, which I'm very excited about, even though we're probably coming out of lockdown soon. I'm filming this on Monday, so Boris is talking this evening. Anyway, it doesn't matter, it's still this lockdown sockdown cal. I've ordered the pins, I need to sell them. Anyway. Editing Hannah here, just popping in. So whilst I was editing, I got a knock at the door, and look what arrived. The enamel pins that I mentioned. So this is the lockdown sockdown enamel pin. Super cute. They have a locking back on them so they won't get lost. So it shouldn't fall off stuff and they shouldn't get lost. So to commemorate the lockdown sockdown, have a little knitting sock. And then the other enamel pin. If I can get it to focus. There we go. Almost, there we go. It says, let's go make a cup of tea. And it's got a little teacup on it. This one is in a pretty pale pink, and I love them. So obsessed. I think they're really cute. So, because they've arrived in time, they will also be going in Saturday's shop update that I mentioned later on. I've just edited that whole bit, so it's all a little confusing and jumbled and all over the place. So yes, these will be going in Saturday's shop update, and I'm obsessed with them. I love them. There is a limited supply of the Lockdown Sock Down pins. There is more of the Let's Go Make a Cup of Tea pins. And I also have some more of my Crit and Knit and Small Business Supporter pins, which I'll also put back in the shop on Saturday. But yeah, how exciting. All right, I'll let you get back on with the rest of it now. Living in my Down Sheepy Lane tea project bag with my super cute Caduceus clay from Critical Role pin on it. This is by Secret Cat Shop. Yeah, I am knitting Mario a pair of socks. It's his birthday early March, so I'm running out of time. This is the first sock. So this is knit out of my Moloch colorway on my merino sock base, which is 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon, do the maths. I did, I think, 15 rows of 2x2 rib, 72 stitches on a 2.5mm needles, 2x2 rib for 15 rows. Then I switched to 3x1 rib, knit 3, purl 1. And yeah, confirmation that I love this colorway and want it as a jumper. So that might have to happen. I've used a contrast heel, which was just a mini skein that I dyed up. It was used to soak up, like, I haven't spoken much this morning. It was used to soak up extra dye, and so it's just a bit of a mismatch, but it went with it, so we're going with it. It's got some yellowy speckles in, but it's mainly brown. And that's on my sturdy sock base, so should be a bit more hard wearing on the heels. I have done a New Depths heel, which is a pattern by Becky Sorensen. I only increase by 4 stitches for Mario's socks, because he doesn't have a very deep instep. I increase for more for my own, but it's just a really fun short row heel pattern that you can just pop into your socks. It's very nice, and yeah, it was designed for people that have a very high instep or a high arch in their foot, like I do. So thanks, Becky, for catering for my feet. And yeah, because I was knitting the Fish Lips Kiss heel before that, and while that does fit some people's feet superbly, and that's fantastic for them, my feet, it did not fit so well. I still have some of the socks that I knit the Fish Lips Kiss heel on, and yeah, it doesn't fit my foot well, and they slide down, and oh, but still much better for my foot. But you know, find the heel that works for you. Ding. You might take a few trial and errors, but you'll get there. So this colorway was designed or dyed with the D&D creature, a Moloch, in mind, who is a demon, kind of like a devil, hence the red, and it's like a tonal red, and it's got sort of speckles of yellows and browns and such on it. It's a lot of fun. It's one of my more time-consuming yarns to dye, because I do 3 different layers of dye before I add the speckles, and usually, or not usually, but often I choose to do just 1 layer of dye because that's the colour that I need to get for it. So it's one of my more time consuming, but it's very pretty, so worth it. I just wish I had more pots and stuff, but that will come in the dye shed. I'll talk about that in a little bit too. But yeah, Sock Down Lockdown Cow. I do have a blog post all about this if you go on my website and click on the Chatter of Craft, which is down the side. Yeah, it's basically knit socks during lockdown. I will do a Google form. And you can fill that in to enter. I will be checking your Instagram to make sure that you did participate on Instagram though, using hashtag #LockdownSockdownCal. And yeah, I'm loving seeing all of your socks that you're knitting. I've seen some truly beautiful colourwork socks that I actually can't get over. I've never knit colourwork socks because I always think I'm not going to be able to get them over my heel because they don't have the same amount of stretch. I've got to breathe. But seeing some of your colourwork socks has actually made me want to try knitting colourwork socks. Maybe I just need a different needle size, or knit more stitches around or something. So if anyone has any tips on knitting colourwork socks or any patterns that talk about it very well, please feel free to let me know in the comments down below, and yeah, I would love to know that. But lockdown sock down, I am knitting Mario a pair of socks. I am on to the foot Thank God. And then I have another sock to knit, so it might be another gift that he is receiving unfinished, because I can't knit them with him in the room. Fortunately, I have another project that I'm knitting on that I haven't finished. Sorry, Becky, but I'm getting there. I was hoping I'd have this finished by now, but I've been lacking motivation. This past week, in particular, I have found very difficult. So I actually took Sunday off, and most of Saturday actually, which is unheard of for me, but I think I needed it. I think I needed the break. I filmed a Q&A on Saturday that I have edited this morning, because I'm filming this on Monday. It's all very confusing. And I feel in a very different headspace to how I was then. Yeah, the energy in that video was very much how I was feeling at the time, and I feel so much better now just for taking that time off. Although I am very stressed that I'm gonna have nothing for this shop update, but hey. I'm knitting, test knitting Becky Sorensen's Fluff Nugget cardigan. I mean, I don't know if that's what she's calling it, but it's what I'm calling it, the Fluff Nugget cardigan, the BIRD&BLEND cardigan, if you will. Although there is some discrepancy as to whether that name will be changed, because Fluff Nugget is so much fun. I am knitting this once again out of my own hand-dyed yarn. I have a whole yarn stash upstairs, and here I am knitting with my own hand-dyed yarn. What is this? Maybe that's either a sign I need to de-stash or knit faster. Yeah, so this is an oversized cropped cardigan. I have knit the body, it's all joined up at the shoulders. I have tried it on. I cannot do it now because I'm wearing a jumper. I still need to pick up the button band. Still need to knit this sleeve. I'm holding 3 strands of mohair together and knitting on 6mm needles, so that's actually knitting up pretty quickly, but it's so light and airy. Basically everything up to, where's my join? I know I can see the join when I look, but that's because I haven't woven anything in. Please hold. So everything up to here on the sleeve, knit, you know, was 3 skeins of yarn. I'm knitting the 3rd size, and yeah, so it's got really fun balloon sleeves. I just need to do the tubular cast off. That's like cable cast off, no, tubular. And yeah, twisted rib with 3 strands of mohair is no joke. It's not the most fun, but yeah, I'm super excited. So you got the balloon sleeve, then you got some rapid decreases happening, and then the little cuff, and yeah. I have a little panda friend keeping me company on it. I will be having some of these in the shop for the shop update, which I'll talk more about in a little bit. But yeah, they're super cute. Anyway, that's by the by. Yeah, Fluff Nugget, really fun pattern to knit. Everything that I have been worried about doing in the pattern, for example, short rows in brioche, or even the 3 needle cast off, bind off. I have done a 3 needle cast off before, but only once, so I couldn't really remember it. It was when I was test knitting the Find My Way jumper by Tristan Molina of Dragon Horde Yarn. Yeah, that's another blue jumper. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I couldn't remember how to do it, but everything that I was really worried about in knitting this, Becky has done a tutorial for, which I found very useful. Like the short rows in brioche and like the 3 needle cast off, and yes, they are all linked in the pattern, which I find very useful. This is due to come out in mid-March. I hope to have it finished by the end of the week, so probably by the time this podcast has come out, I hope to have it finished, so we shall see. I've messed up a couple of times on the sleeves because I'm doing brioche on magic loop, which isn't that easy. I need to stop these clattering, which isn't that easy to, well, it is easy to do. Let me get my words straight. I've been doing brioche on magic loop, which is easy to do, but can be a bit confusing on the ends of the row if you have, especially at the beginning of the row, because if you've got a yarn over followed by a yarn over to purl, to brioche purl, it can get a little confusing. So there's a couple of points down the top of the arm in particular. Not that that's the beginning of my row, so I'm not quite sure how I messed it up there, but that doesn't matter. But yeah, I got the yarn over in the wrong place or whatever, but because the yarn is so fluffy, You can't see, and also the colour of it, you can't see the mistake. So I'm not going back, I'm not changing it. It still functions, it still works. And yeah, I'm so excited to wear this. I'm so excited to wear this. It's so fluffy and delightful. And it's just a really good colour. It's just so nice. Oh, I'm really enjoying it. It knits up so quickly. I could have this done by now if I wasn't in my funk last week and if I wasn't playing Stardew Valley with my sister. Oh, I got married to Abigail in Stardew Valley. That was another, you know, thing that I did this week. I can't lean back in this chair. The back of the chair's broken. I need to get the wood glue out. Yeah. The Fluff Nugget cardigan, the BIRD&BLEND cardigan by Becky Sorensen, that I'm currently test knitting, and yeah, I love it. And I got sparkly buttons for it because now I'm a sparkly button person. And yeah, it's making me excited to plan my next garment, which I haven't always been excited to do. I'm not the most body confident of people, especially because in the past year my size has changed. So yeah, I haven't been the most body confident of people to knit garments. So I'm excited that this has made me excited to knit more. Yes, maybe the boxcar jumper in that red colour. And that's it, that's literally all I've been knitting on. I know, I'm disappointed too. I have decided to frog Le Meilleur shawl. The way I'm saying it sounds like I'm saying Meilleur, but it's not, it's Meilleur. Le Meilleur shawl, which is the squishy shawl, by Mina Phillip. I am going to frog that. I made too many mistakes. And I can't get over it, so I think I'm just going to frog it and either start again. We shall see. When I'm done with this brioche cardigan, I might still be on a brioche kick. We shall see. But I did receive a prize for the Lockdown Sockdown Cal. I'm talking about this at the wrong time. Leaving the address down there so I don't show you my address. The lovely John of Dystopic Fibre reached out to me. They are based in Glasgow. So another fantastic British yarn dyer for you all. I will be sure to pop the link in the podcast notes. I forgot to mention the podcast notes. There are podcast notes. Description box, pinned comment, they'll be linked there. Yeah, and so they reached out and asked if they could send a prize for the Lockdown Sockdown Cal, and I said, oh, I would love that, please do. New to me dyer, I had seen them mentioned around various other Scottish knitters that I follow, but new to me dyer, and now I have received their yarn. Beautiful. So this is Fairy Ring. It is a sock set. It's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 420 meters per 100 grams. You get not one but 2 mini skeins, inspired by the mushroom circles that form called fairy rings. So it is a absolutely beautiful kind of neutral taupe colour with bright speckles of greens and coral, and there's a bit of purple and dark browns, and it's absolutely beautiful. So I will add this to the prize pot along with Jen's yarn that I showed you in the last podcast, California Dreamin', I believe. And yeah, so these are some of the goodies that you could win. Please check out Dystopic Fibre on Instagram and treat yourself. If you want to guarantee yourself getting a beautiful skein like this, go and give them a follow, go show them some love. Yeah, Dystopic Fibre. Love it, it's so soft, so soft. It's gonna be a tough one to part with. I have loved fairies for many years. Anyway, that is all the sort of knitting content that I have for you. I'm going to talk to you very briefly about the shop update. Shop update is coming up tomorrow, technically, Saturday, the 27th of February at 10 AM GMT, UK time, 10 AM. I'm doing it a bit earlier in the day for those of you in Australia and New Zealand and the like. Once again, if there isn't a time that works for you and you are in those countries and other countries in a similar time zone, please let me know, because I don't know what's the best time that works for people, and usually I do 4 p.m. and that's kind of the time that I do, but that is more UK and the Americas friendly, as opposed to, well, and Europe I suppose, although Europe, yeah, they're only an hour or two ahead. But yeah, I'm trying to every other month have an update that is at a more suitable time for different time zones. We shall see. I currently just have a load of stitch markers ready to go in and no yarn. So there might be no yarn in the shop update, but there is going to be a ton of stitch markers. If there is yarn, I'm dyeing it tomorrow and you would have seen it in Wednesday's vlog. So the joys of filming things ahead of time. I don't really know what's happening when. Yes, so my hand cream smells really good. I just got a waft of it from all of that waving around. So be sure to head on over to thecornerofcraft.co.uk if you want to get your hands on tiny beaded stitch markers and maybe yarn if there is yarn. Be aware that my stitch markers do sell very quickly and I can only make as many as I can make. So if you can't get them, I'm very sorry. Please don't be angry and message me that you missed out and that I'm doing a bad job because I can't make enough. It's not my fault. Other than that, I don't have a whole host to tell you. We played Dungeons and Dragons Sunday. Oh, timings. Played Dungeons and Dragons on Sunday, which was a lot of fun. There was no fighting involved, but we did some planning of how to tackle fighting a giant god called Grumsh. So that should be interesting. We have an army together now, so I need to look up some army strategies, because although saying that, Ellen wouldn't, my character, she's a Furbog druid, she wouldn't know any army strategies, but she is level 17 now, so she has 9th level spells, which is super cool. So she can cast the spell Foresight, also Storm of Vengeance, which is very good for distance things. So yeah, super cool. Anyway, I'll stop saying things are super cool. Other than that, we've literally done nothing at all. Oh, I suppose I should also mention the Knit Roll Yarn Club will be going up for sale on the 1st of March at 4 p.m. GMT UK time. The theme this month is, I was torn between, so I have a list of ideas. I was torn between Bo having True Sight cast on her and also Caduceus in Rumplecusp with the Help It's Again. So I'm torn between the two, but it's going to be, ooh, I need to make the decision. I'm going with Help It's Again. Help It's Again. I think that is what I want to go, because that's where my brain just keeps going back to, so that is where I will be going. And also the Stitch Marker Club will be going live at the same time, so if you are interested, that'll be happening March the 1st at 4 p.m. GMT. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this podcast. Let me know if you like the new filming location, if it's too echoey, if it's not interesting enough, if it's not crafty enough, if you preferred the old one, blah blah blah. We love change, it's exciting. If you'd like to follow me on social media, please feel free. Links can all be found in the description box below, along with any other information that I think you might need, like the link to get your free trial of a Skillshare Premium membership. Also check the top pinned comment, whichever is easiest for you. Also, podcast notes are down there. If you want any more information about the designers, project bags, blah blah blah, yarn, whatever, that can all be found in the project notes. Yeah, no, podcast notes. Oh God, my brain, too much talking. Leave me a comment down below letting me know what you have been up to this week. I love hearing from you. Any colourwork sock pattern recommendations would be nice. Any jumper patterns would be nice, because I'm wearing a lot of hand knit jumpers at the moment. And yeah, leave leave me a comment. If you'd like to subscribe, that would mean an awful lot to me. It would be delightful if you did. I'm currently posting a video 3 times a week. I know, pretty intense. On a Monday, a Wednesday and a Friday. So I would love it if you were to stick around, join the party that is the Corner of Craft. We'd love to have you here. It's a good time. I think it's a good time anyway. I feel like other people agree too. I'm having fun. Be sure to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any uploads. And I think that's everything that I need to say. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in Monday's video. Bye.